All right. Welcome back. Now, a few hours ago, I was live with the members. I would say, what was it? About maybe 10 hours ago, somewhere around there. And I dealt with a few stories or reports that surfaced in the media. And I planned on covering those same stories, or at least some of them, on this live stream, but I won't because there's so much to deal with. Right? So a lot of things that I dealt with a few hours ago, I won't be dealing with here. So let's get started. And I'm doing this because you see the title, Nutter News. From the world's only dog attack experts. That would be us. Okay, understand, that would be us. But look at this. And I told y'all that the world is going to wake up slowly but surely. Trust what I'm telling you. Now, some of you hear me talk and you say, oh, who do you think you are? You think you're going to spread the word and popularize how horrible dog culture is, or popularize an anti-dog movement or help to? Of course I'm going to help. I already have help. Might be a very tiny number or tiny percent, but like I said, we're different from any other social group you know of. Understand that. It's hard to find any social group anywhere that are with as many committed members as we have. There are no dog culture critics that go on to become dog lovers, no matter if they were dog lovers before becoming a critic or not. Not buying it. But look at this. This article surfaced a few hours ago. Now, I'm not going to pay for the subscription. It's one of those, it's from the Toronto Star. One of those outlets where you have to pay subscription. But I don't need to read the whole thing. Look at the title and subtitle. When dog owners think their violent pets can do no wrong, children get hurt. Subtitle, bloody dog attacks are increasingly common, and the resultant clamor is always the same. Okay, now they share a small portion of the article, and of course it's in response to this recent dog attack in Toronto, in a Toronto playground, where the dog attacked a child. Child was seriously injured in a dog attack on Saturday morning in the playground area at Little Norway Park. A vicious dog attack on a child in Toronto waterfront is just one more tale of human dysfunction in an ill-managed city. Again, media outlets were not talking like this before we came onto the scene. That's just how it is. After our years of work, we are the ones forcing the media to take a closer look and take dog attacks more seriously. Dogs in general more seriously. Just for this journalist to word this way, and this coming out of the Toronto Star, is a small amount of progress, if you ask me. We've been using language like that. Okay, that these nutters in the culture is it's dysfunctional, abnormal lifestyle and behavior. The unleashed dog should never have been in the playground at Little Norway Park among the condos at Lake Shore in the first place. People living high in the sky need danger-free green space where families can venture safely. I don't know what that means, people living high in the sky. We all need danger-free spaces where families can simply walk outside, go into their own front yard. You can't do that in the world today. And I bring this up again, but India is, I don't know what, India is horrible. Those people have completely lost their minds over there. Every now and then, some of them will snap out of it. And we always hear about those because they have very anti-dog behavior, if you know what I mean. But most of them have had their minds altered, and they accept it. Why are there so many 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds in India? You find them wandering outside all by themselves. Don't be a parent in sight. Craziest thing in the world. And it just keeps happening. So yeah, like I told y'all, I know the media is tuning in, listening to my commentary and reading your comments. They're listening. Can't help but to. You know, it's a whole sector of society they ignore. Even though they contribute stuff like the reports, they don't take it a step further. And they should, and they know it. Another story. Again, this surfaced a few hours ago. Potential progress in the anti-dog movement. Aggressive dog-type animal attacks child in Bancroft. Never seen that before. A canine-type animal? So it looked like a canine but wasn't? What could that be? Right, a fox. Ain't that's considered a canine. Ontario say the attack was unprovoked. Is this the same? This can't be. Yeah, this is in Bancroft. So that's another attack coming out of Toronto? Or, excuse me, Ontario. Okay, Ontario. The other one was Toronto. Well, Canada, United States, and the UK are the worst. They're about the worst countries to live in when it comes to dogs, which is crazy to include Canada because a lot of Canada, they have pit bull bans. So it's not crazy. They do the same thing the UK does. Ban a few bully breeds and allow people to own the remaining, which is far more than 4 or 5. Warning has been issued to people in the area of Bancroft after aggressive canine-type animal attacked a child on Tuesday afternoon. Okay, look at this. Hey, fake so-called experts. I'm going to poke at you all every chance I get. You see what I put in there. I said from the world's only dog attack experts. That's us. And it's time for you to learn it quickly. You see that? Ontario police say the unprovoked attack occurred somewhere. Unprovoked. And I'm pointing this out because this is a pattern in dog attack reports. A good portion of dog attack reports that make the news, they literally write out it was an unprovoked attack. They never read that the attack was provoked. Never. What does that tell you? It tells you you're not allowed to assume that any of these attacks were provoked by the victim or anybody else. You're not allowed to. You don't have the logical or justification to do that. You're going to stop doing it, nutters. This was unprovoked. Okay, this is, please, okay. Thinking, okay, yeah, this is the same story. I'm thinking, okay, it's just some media outlets are late reporting it. Now, brace yourselves. Stories like this becoming more common too. And if you're just listening and you can't see, this is a article that surfaced a few hours ago, not even 24 hours ago. The headline says, documents detail man's violent attack on a woman before killing her dog in Florida. This is becoming a pattern where people are defending themselves from dogs. Listen to that. He attacked a woman before killing her dog. It sounds like he was after the dog in the first place to begin with. And just like all dog owners, she probably tried to jump in and protect her dog. Let's listen.
6 construction workers that they're looking for are dead after yesterday's bridge collapse.
Officials say the search will continue this morning. They suspended search and rescue last night because of safety concerns for divers navigating the frigid waters and the debris in the...
Now, I don't know what that is. That don't have nothing to do with the story. Oh yeah, we got to get into this. Talk about a juicy story. What happened here? Okay, he traveled from Atlanta. 52-year-old man left Atlanta. He broke into the woman's home with, oh no, this is a personal thing. Okay, yeah, they knew each other, but what in the world? You went over there to kill her dog? The woman got home. He used the stun gun on the woman. Lord, in addition to punching and kicking her. Oh, this is a lunatic. Oh, Lord. No, this ain't no dog situation. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's something completely different. Yeah, this was, I'll show you, I'll get revenge on you, kill your dog. Yeah, see, and that's another thing. A lot of people know that a lot of dog lovers are emotionally bonded with their dog. It's like their kid. And they'll try to get revenge on a person by attacking their dog. Happens all the time. Woman gets a National Medal of Heroism after stopping life-threatening dog attacks. Okay? A Medal of Heroism. That, I don't know. That seemed inappropriate to me too. It's inappropriate. Articles like this are inappropriate. Y'all not allowed to put out stories like this and praise dogs as if they're family members, as if they're safe, as if they're the type of creatures you need to go train the youth to walk up and pet when they see them. Not allowed to do all that nutter stuff the way y'all do, which is completely overboard. While at the same time, media reports putting out stories like this, where these things are so dangerous that if you manage to stop an attack on someone, they hail you as a hero. The people who do that, it's common for them to get some type of award or recognition, which tells you what? These things are extremely deadly. If you're getting praised so much for stopping one from attacking someone, that's all the more reason they should be banned. This is not like seeing a mosquito land on somebody's shoulder and you smacking it. Lord, I tell you what, if I had to compile all the information that could be used to strengthen the argument these things should be banned, that would take a long time. It would take a very long time.
A woman from Florissant is getting a national award for heroism after saving 2 women who were attacked by dogs.
Now, this happened 4 years ago, but she just got nominated for the highly competitive award by one of the women she threw herself in front of to protect. Annie Krall is here in studio after speaking with her. Annie.
Well, Robin Hanley, who lives in Florissant, told me about the PTSD her neighbor Beth Gibbons still faces as the first woman who was attacked by 4 dogs back in 2020, and how Beth has become one of her friends after saving her life. Out for a walk on December 22nd, 2020, the 4 dogs knocked Beth Gibbons to the ground and bit into her body, tearing off parts of her scalp. We were there shortly after it happened.
Went after the scalp. Shout out to somebody who pointed out how these things, I think it was BK Bourne, shout out to BK Bourne, pointed out how these things always go for the neck, face, and scalp. Neck, even if it's an adult, a lot of times they go for the neck, face, and scalp. Ask Brooklyn Curry. She was standing on her feet when she was attacked. She said the dog leapt up and latched onto her face. Several stories, they described that that's what happened. These dogs will almost leap through the sky and clamp down on your face, making them even more dangerous. Again, look at this and listen to this story. Why y'all running around the country teaching youngsters to walk up and pet these things, to not fear them? Why are you trying to remove all fear, their sense of fear from them when these things are this dangerous, this deadly? That itself is a crime.
Scalp. We were there shortly after it happened.
She was just a bloody mess, hysterical, and just screaming for her life.
Robin still remembers.
Listen, man. Anything that can bring this much sorrow and pain, you should never hail as some type of acceptable family pet.
4 years later,
her screams, her screaming. I had just gotten out of the shower and heard these blood-curdling screams.
Yet Robin still ran out of her Florissant house yelling at the dogs to get away.
And y'all still make excuses of why they should be in our territory. That's what make me sick. As y'all putting out stories like this, you still want to tell us that these things belong in our homes, in our communities. Get out of here.
They did, but then began to attack a second woman coming to help the first victim. Robin chased the pack of 4 dogs off again, somehow remaining unharmed in the process. One dog was eventually hit by a car and
this don't even sound like they were bully breeds.
Killed, while the other 3 were euthanized. St. Louis County Animal Control says dog attacks are more common than you may think. To protect yourself, you should stay far away.
They can do a lot more.
Stay far away? Stay far away? What are you talking about?
Common than you may think. To protect yourself, you should stay far away.
They can do a lot more harm to you than you think they can do. And if they take you to the ground, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go for your face, your neck, and different things like that.
Just like I just said. And scalp. Lord.
However, Robin felt she had to do something, receiving North America's highest civilian honor, the Carnegie Medal for Heroism. Ironically enough, the company Robin works for makes medals and awards.
Man, stop it. She probably didn't do nothing but give the dog something else to attack. She didn't walk in and start tossing these dogs left and right. They make it sound like she came through like Super or Wonder Woman. She went in, helped, was worthless. The dogs saw her and started attacking her. That's what they call in help. They one of the dogs might have stopped attacking the first woman to attack the second one, ran in there. In every video footage, y'all be worthless. You'll get a little stick or something, you start smacking it, you're completely worthless. You do not come in here manhandling dogs.
For clients like the Eagle Scouts and their moms. This hero who laughs that word off hopes to inspire people to
react on your gut. Don't think.
No, stay armed. Stay armed. And if one of these mutants try to attack you, use your weapon. Carry more than one. And don't go around people. Don't go into their homes. People who own dogs.
Think about it. Because if I just stayed in the house and thought about, I need a coat, I need my shoes, she might not be here.
Stop it, lady. We see people like you all the time. Lose control of a dog, it attacks, and you can't stop it. The dog will try to get away and it snatch you clean off your feet. You ain't no physical specimen, lady. And these people need to be ashamed of themselves, city and all, projecting her some type of hero. Hey, you can save somebody from a dog attack too. They want to reward going up trying to help somebody or something with your bare hands. They reward people who use non-lethal methods. Ask yourself, how many times have they given a reward and recognition to people who came in and shot the dogs? They stopped a dog attack by using a handgun and deleted the dog. You never hear about people like that being rewarded. They don't want to encourage that type of, that's why they never suggest to the general public to carry weapons for self-defense. Get out of here.
Today.
If you see someone being attacked by a dog and do approach it, St. Louis County Animal Control says you can take its hind legs and try to throw them off the person or the other animal to try and put it off balance.
I ain't trying to put nothing off balance. And I don't suggest any of you do that either. We are the only dog attack experts. And I want y'all to understand, you have the right. Check with your laws in your state. If I'm not mistaken, in all states, you have the right to shoot an attacking dog. The reason cops almost always opt to shoot these things is because quite often that's the only thing that'll work. Now you have the option of a handgun, make sure your record is clean, check your laws, or a BB gun. Again, what I think is effective because it can penetrate a dog's skin, but it's not as lethal as a handgun. Look, it's unfortunate that they force us to use these types of weapons. Bottom line is the law shouldn't allow these people to own these things as pets. And we wouldn't have to walk around armed like that. So get out of here. This woman ain't done nothing. She came up as the dogs were attacking that other lady and offered her body. What'd she do? Walk up and start screaming? She wasn't strong arming these dogs. Get out of here. More nuttery. Look at this. Bully breed owner claims dangerous dog is triggered by bike saddlebags. Triggered by bike saddlebags after aggressive dog attacked two cyclists, knocking one unconscious and biting another. Triggered by bike saddlebags, huh? Now, if you'll excuse me, this is UK talk. Triggered by these? A bike saddlebag. I mean, take that in. They're saying the dog is triggered by a bag. Is that what they're saying? That's what it sounds like. Okay. It has a history, extensive history of aggressive behavior. Okay, responsible for 3 attacks on people riding bicycles. What? Just got a violent mutt. What are you talking about? Knocked a 75-year-old man unconscious. a postman was bitten on the finger. The dog is triggered by the appearance of a bag, huh? You can't make this up. Okay, well, thank you for strengthening the argument of why they should all be euthanized and illegal to own as pets. Thanks for fueling that argument. Lord, you can't make this up. Euthanize all of them. You know, that'll be a blessing to the planet itself. As soon as each and every one of these deformed, disgusting, turd-faced mutants, as soon as every last one of them are euthanized, the planet will receive a blessing that it has long wanted. You know, these things walk around and urinate on the grass. It destroys a part of the sustainer of life. This planet sustains life, and we need to take care of it. 2 suspects arrested in connection to the death of a toddler at Quebec City daycare. This surfaced, I think, yesterday, maybe just a few hours ago. Okay, and this surfaced a few hours ago as well. At a daycare? What does this sound like to you? What does it sound like to you? If 2 people are arrested at a daycare after a dog attack, what does that sound like? Called to a scene of a resident found a 14-month-old unconscious. They performed CPR on the baby. Okay? They referred to a 14-month-old as a child. No, that's smaller than a child. Boy, this is sick. And the cops had to perform CPR. Taken to the hospital, died a few hours later. This took place March 21st, 6 days ago. A 30-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman were arrested. The suspects are in custody and expected to appear in court today. I'm going to try my best to keep up with this case, because that right there is the end of this article. And you can see they didn't share nothing with us. What you're looking at is the beginning and end of that whole article. You know what that tells me? It suggests to me these nutters brought dogs inside of the daycare. If they're inside of the building doing their job or home or whatever, and a stray dog busts in from outside, they wouldn't have arrested these people. There would have been no reason to arrest them, especially if they managed to, fight the dog off. Like, hey, we're in here doing our job. The dog jumped through the window, shattered the window, or burst through the door after we tried to walk through it, something. They would not have arrested these 2 people. These nutters brought those. I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all? When these nutters are around young people, they are dying, itching to find a dog to bring around them. Young people, y'all got to be careful. These nutter adults are always, they always have this desire to bring deadly creatures around you. Be mindful of that. And they're doing this inside of a daycare, possibly without the consent of the parents of the young people in the daycare. This is like sick ritualistic stuff. You cannot leave your babies in the care, or your kids in the care of other people, especially if you know they are a nutter. But look, if it's a daycare, you don't know those people. You just can't do that. Leave them with a family member who you know don't have a dog. Boy, this is sick. Dogs have no business at a daycare. They can't even serve as service. And you know what they were doing? They were going along with this therapy dog crusade where they're bringing dogs into hospitals, libraries, and schools, dentist offices, specifically for kids because they claim it's therapeutic. So behavior like this is what comes out of the promotion of dogs being hauled around kids so they can rub on them. You'll get goofy nutters trying to get 14-month-olds. Trying to what? Reduce their stress and anxiety? No, they just can't stop being a nutter. Got to be around these things 24/7. So when they go to work, they go crazy because they're not around rubbing on their nasty dog. They have to live life the same way primitive, uncivilized people live their life early in human history. Just primitive and nasty. And this is really sick. And you know these things are deadly. You bring them up in a daycare, you lunatic. I considered putting an end to calling these people nutters, but I might not. I'll give it a try. But y'all deserve this smoke because listen to yourselves. Listen to the things you do. Y'all do sick things. You don't need the message to be sugar-coated. Y'all doing outright, overt, sick, dangerous things. You deserve that type of response, nutter. Stop being nutty. You don't want people to talk about you. Such a disgusting culture. So uncivilized and primitive. So beneath all of us, dog culture critics. These dogs are obsessed with food. Food is the only other thing they're obsessed with other than attacking and killing people. And it's, I think, a form of abuse to condition young people to not be afraid of them. People should be arrested. If you're teaching young people that they should not fear these things and should not avoid them, you should be arrested. Some of you may have seen this, what I believe is a young teenager around the internet whose popularity is increasing, where she basically, she does just like all the other nutter trainers and demonstrates how obsessed dogs are with food. All she did was give it something to eat just then. So it'll sit down and you give it something to eat. Young people, don't do this. There ain't nothing magical. This is not some type of advanced trick or power. They're trying to get you to get off on being in control of another living entity. That's all this is. With food. So what? Big deal. It's obsessed with food. Don't let no adult trick you. They're going to try to give you some food to give to a dog. They put dog food or some dog treat in your hand, drop it to the ground and stay away, as far away as possible from these creatures. It don't matter if they have spent 5 or 10 minutes around you and have not attacked you. They will attack you in the 11th minute. It is in all of them to attack you. Same with this young person right here. They got this kid gassed up thinking she got power over the brain of this mutant simply because she's manipulating its obsession with food. No, you don't. And the fact is, if this thing starts to attack her, she ain't gonna do nothing but scream and beg for help. Don't do things that could get you killed. Where if something happens, there ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Do you understand? Do you know how long it takes for you to die? You know how long you're gonna suffer before that dog actually kills you, before you fall unconscious? You're going to be suffering for a long time, bleeding out, pain you never felt before. And the dumb nutter adults around you not going to be able to stop it. Stay away from these creatures. Y'all better stop gassing your head up with these little goofy videos like this. Again, she ain't doing nothing but giving it a few commands and just giving it food after it do everything. Ain't nothing fancy or high tech about that. You want to flaunt your control over something? Flaunt your control over yourself. And how efficient you are at avoiding nutters and their dogs. Shout out to Wandering Fuels in the super chat. But you cannot make this up. And understand, this video got over 1 million views. You see it has over 500,000 likes. It has like 1 point some million views. Gotta address stuff like that. See, these nutters, they out here soaking stuff like this up. Looking at stuff like this, young people looking at stuff like this, thinking, oh, I can do that too. Oh, look, here, give me. They'll be more willing to do stuff like this if videos going viral like this. And this is this woman right here makes me want to throw up. Flat out. I hate coming across this woman and her nasty dog in that nasty home. Goofball, got your stupid face all up in the dog's head. That thing latch on to her stupid face. She ain't gonna do nothing but scream, tip over, and bleed out. When y'all see older people, especially with their dumb face all up in a dog's face like this, young people, understand that those adults do not have any power over that dog's brain. It could latch on to their dumb face at any moment, and if it does, there's nothing they can do to stop it. Stay away from people like this, bringing dogs around. What's wrong with y'all? Why do the Crusaders got to step in and be the adults in the room? Pathetic. Now, this is one of the stories I dealt with the members. And I probably will still do a short video about it. Because this is a talking point that's gaining popularity. There's a lot of defense for dogs. Every time there's an uptick in dog attacks, there's an uptick in nutters coming out trying to defend dogs. And this is one of them. Y'all see the title. Animal advocates believe animal abuse is on the rise after pit bull found severely injured. Boy, they got it in already. Animal instead of dog once, animal instead of dog twice, knowing they're only talking about dogs. You don't hear about no other animal being found with injuries. You just don't. You only find it with dogs. And of course, they're trying to say and condition people to believe that anytime you find a dog with some type of injury, that some person attacked the dog for no reason.
Valentine keeps a smile on her face, playing with her phone.
And yet another owner who would be worthless, powerless at controlling these things, about to sit up here and tell me how wonderful they are.
Foster mom Lindsay Pinnefel in their West Valley home. But that wasn't always the case. Valentine was found inside her cage in a dumpster during a rainstorm last month.
Valentine was emaciated. She was completely covered in feces. And not only that, with her...
Why are you telling us that? Why are you telling us that it was covered in feces? Think about that, people. Why would she tell us something like that? Are we supposed to believe that that's somehow dog abuse, to smear feces all over a dog? Is that part of the abuse you're talking about, that you're referring to? Y'all ever thought about that? It was completely covered in feces. And your point? Listen to her.
Valentine was emaciated.
She said it was emaciated. Listen to this nutter. What is emaciated? Is that a word? Now, I butcher words from time to time myself, but I don't butcher. Doesn't this say emaciated? She said emaciated, didn't she? Is that just another way to pronounce it? Look, I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong here, but she said emaciated. Let's continue. Found an emaciated mutt, huh?
She was completely covered in feces. And not only that, with her being in that crate, you could actually tell that she had what we call splayed feet.
Well, okay, whatever. The thing is, they roll around in their own feces. Right? They'll defecate and then roll around in it, eat it and all that. So yeah, they're surrounded by feces.
And that means her life, she has spent a majority of it in a cage.
Pinnefel, who's fostering Valentine and two others.
In that crate, you could actually tell that, and not only that, with her being in that crate, you could actually tell that she had what we call splayed feet, and that means her life, she has spent a majority of it in a cage.
Pinnefel, who's fostering Valentine and two.
You see what the message they're sending out? Don't leave your dog outside. And if you have it inside, don't leave it in a cage. They also tell you don't leave it isolated from everyone else. They say the dog wants to be around all the people and socialize with you just like it would be in a dog pack, if it was in a dog pack. Because that maximizes the possibility of an attack. They demonize all possible safety precautions. That's not exaggeration. They demonize all possible safety precautions. You've already violated safety by acquiring the thing. Right? Pay attention to that.
Two other dogs is a volunteer with the Vegas Pet Rescue Project, helping animals through recovery before they're adopted.
We are noticing that there is an extreme increase in...
So, they just told you they found this dog in a dumpster. And their plan is to adopt them out. Adopt them out. Put them in somebody's home.
The amount of abuse cases that we actually see.
Gina Greisen, president of the Nevada Voters.
They found this thing and it had injuries. They don't know what happened. but they're calling it abuse. They're doing this. They're trying to brainwash the general public to believe that this uptick in dog attacks against people is the result of an uptick of people abusing dogs. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's why they're doing this. It's because people are abusing dogs.
Voters for Animals has been fighting for animal rights and abuse laws for nearly 2 decades now.
Leading the charge to fight against...
Sure you are. Sure you have. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
Nearly 2 decades now.
We actually see
Gina Greisen, president of the Nevada Voters for Animals, has been fighting for animal rights and abuse laws.
Yeah. I fight for human rights and human abuse laws. You fight for dogs. Okay? My work would help people. I hate that. They say that like it's something to be proud of. That's disgraceful. You help communities to stay dangerous, full of lethal hazards. You're not no upstanding citizen. That's what I don't like primarily. Projecting these people as, the moral beacons of society. Get out of here. Y'all ruin communities. Y'all need to hear that straight up.
Greisen, president of the Nevada Voters for Animals, has been fighting for animal rights and abuse laws for nearly 2 decades now.
Leading the charge to fight.
How effective you think she'll be at stopping a dog from attacking you? How long you think she'd take to get to you? Do she look like she got good balance? She'd be one of those people standing off to the side, probably across the street, watching it go down with her hands covering her face, screaming. That's what they do when these mutants they promote so much launch an attack.
Fight against animal cruelty and, ensuring cases are investigated.
Nevada statute makes it a crime.
Disgusting. We all know you can run a whole list of what could have possibly happened in this case. Dog could have attacked somebody attacked in self-defense. She brought up that it was emaciated. So what? They're full of parasites. It don't take long for them to become emaciated. It could have ran away from its owner's home. You don't know. It could have been somebody's dog. They always run away, don't they? I think it's over 1 million dogs everywhere, in the United States every year that just run away. What you think gonna happen if they don't come back on? They might become emaciated. They might try to attack somebody. They defend themselves from it. The dog sustained an injury. But y'all want to just assume that people are just out here attacking and abusing these things? Get out of here. There ain't no rise in dog abuse. There's a rise in people defending themselves from dogs.
Crime to engage in animal cruelty and abuse. A first-time offense is often a misdemeanor and can include up to 6 months in jail, up to 120 hours of community service, and up to $1,000 in fines.
Now, like I mentioned with the members, notice how they make it mandatory for you to be punished. If you do something to a dog, they make it mandatory that you're punished. But if the dog mauls a kid to death, that's an accident. And many times the dog is not even put down. But that's the worst that happens. Nobody's arrested. Nobody's charged. But if a dog suffers, it's mandatory that somebody is punished. That's what they're doing. That's dog worship culture right there. That is sacrifice. That's sacrifice. And that's their way of putting dogs above people.
A first-time offense is often a misdemeanor and can include up to 6 months in jail, up to 120 hours of community service, and up to $1,000 in fines. Mutilating or killing a companion animal like a dog or cat with
Mutilating or killing is a felony. But it mutilates and kills an infant, it's an accident. Toddler, accident. Young person, accident. In fact, they provoke the dog. It's only an unprovoked attack when you're an adult and you can testify that it was unprovoked. It's only unprovoked when there are witnesses. They always say, yeah, it was unprovoked, because they're always unprovoked. When it's a cop, you have on camera that it was provoked. But whenever it attacks a young person, it's unprovoked. That's the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice I'm talking about.
without good reason is a felony that leads to prison time and thousands of dollars in fines.
Okay? If a dog is tortured and killed, this is going to happen. You're not going to be let off the hook. They're not going to consider it an accident, even though you could have lost your mind, just like they say that dogs lose their mind when they attack and kill. If you do that, if a dog is tortured, nobody's getting away. Not going to be called no accident. It's only an accident when they kill, I can't even say a person. Because most adults, when they're attacked, it's not considered, it's unprovoked. Infant, baby, kid, toddler, accident. In fact, the kids provoked it. That's your laws. That's what you so-called experts say. All of you, vets, behaviorists, and trainers. That's what you all say. That's why I'm taking your status away from you, each and every one of you. I don't care how popular you think you are. You're no longer the experts. We're the only experts on dog attacks.
Bryson says every case has to be looked at individually.
If you leave a dog in a hot car and the dog doesn't die, you're probably going to get charged with a misdemeanor. But if you leave your dog in a car and it bakes to death...
Don't it make it? This so makes me sick. This woman promoting these things in the communities.
Before anyone can get to it, you're probably going to be charged with a felony.
Bryson believes more resources, staff, and enforcement need to be provided to address these cases. And she says the community can play a major role in solving them.
There has to be witnesses. These things have to be reported. It's not enough just to post on social media, my neighbor's beating his dog. That's not enough. We need proof.
And hopefully through reporting the incidents, the animals can be saved like Valentine was.
Need proof. What you want people to do? Take pictures? Record video? That's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. This is intimacy, by the way. I'm getting a real nasty energy right now. I thought this is interpreted in the dog's mind as a threat. You staring at it. You staring at it, gazing into its eyes. But yet y'all promote that. So weird and nasty. They will pull a dog's face up and force the dog to stare into their eyes. Just like she's doing. They'll hold the dog's face up
the animals can
and just stare at him like a bunch of imbeciles. Can't make this up. And then young people see them doing this and they try it too. Just deranged.
Saved like Valentine was.
She's doing amazing. She has obviously gained weight.
Then rubbing the top of the head and everything, right? Exactly what they tell you not to do. They recently wrote an article talking about how dogs hate being patted on the top of the head, and that when you do it, it increases the chances it'll attack you. Some of you may have seen that article. It recently surfaced. Why do dogs duck when you try to pet them on top of the head? That was the title. It was something like that. So they doing all kinds of things that some of their so-called experts have come out and say never do. And it's all because they're just trying to be nasty and intimate, trying to treat these things like their boyfriends. That's all this is. Being physically emotional and affectionate with these things the same way they would with their husband or boyfriend. That's why a lot of these people single. They're into some nasty, nasty business. Look at her. You think she out here getting phone numbers left and right from men? Think men stopping? Ain't nobody checking for this lady. Nobody checking for her. Yeah, I believe you're head over heels in love with dogs. That don't surprise me at all. I can see why you don't view them as a threat. Why would you? When you're in a corner somewhere doing something crazy with them late at night.
We need proof.
And hopefully through reporting the incidents, the animals can be saved like Valentine was.
She's doing amazing. She has obviously gained weight. She is the sweetest dog I have ever had. She's probably one of my best.
Don't nobody shut up. I say that about every mutt. Then they go on to rip somebody's face off. Euthanize that worthless mutant. You need to euthanize each and every one of them. Rid our planet of this filth.
She's probably one of my best fosters. Go girl.
Here recently, didn't I just report on one of these fosters attacking somebody's kid? They should not be allowed to put out articles like this, stories like this, when at the same time we're getting reports like the one I reported the other day, where these fosters, no, this foster system, the dog culture system itself, has been proven to be hazardous. When other items are proven to be hazardous, things that you promote to kids is proven to be hazardous, it's removed from the shelves. It can no longer be promoted. That's what happens. Y'all supposed to be doing this with dogs. You're not. That's why we're here. Nasty nutters. This is immoral. This is inhumane. You're promoting a proven safety hazard that sends 14,000 people to the hospital every single day in the United States alone. 14,000. Over 2,000 of that 14,000 need emergency care treatment every day in the United States. 7,000 children need to go to the hospital every day. Over 1,000 need emergency care treatment. You're not allowed to promote these things. Just like those toys, whatnot, had to be removed from the shelves, so do these. Where are those toys at now? They're gone. That's where the dogs should be sent. Send them to the lower room. Euthanize them. All of them.
Fosters. Go girl.
Look at that. Nasty. You know what that is. Turn off the lights, huh? Look at her. Arms bigger than mine. Ain't no man really checking for her. Ain't nobody checking for these women, man. So they get to get on camera and pretend that the dogs are their lovers, make out with them, hug on them, rub on their face, kiss all on them. And that's supposed to prove that they're harmless. And they're trying to suggest to other people, hey, get you a dog, do the same thing I'm doing. No. Your own experts tell you to not do this. Don't stare in a dog's face. They said to take it as a threat. So why are you doing it? Why do y'all be promoting the same behaviors your own stupid so-called experts come out and tell you not to do? Because they are not professionals. You nutters are reckless. You're irresponsible. You're the greatest threat to communities. The greatest. The greatest. You produce the worst numbers, the worst statistics, the most extreme statistics of anybody, anything. The greatest threat to communities is these nutters. Make y'all understand that. And you dog professionals, fraudulent. Each and every one of you. We're the only dog professionals here. Nutter. What happened to my sound? What is this? Look at that. Yeah, why don't you just tongue kiss it? Nasty. Nasty. Look at her. She in love. She in love, ain't she? Don't she look like she out of her mind? I'm telling you, man. You can see the psycho mentality, the psycho spirit in their eyes. I just shared one last night with the members. That lady looked completely out of her mind. Let me see if I can find that. That was hilarious too. I'm telling you, if you look into the eyes of some of these people, you can see that they're completely out of their minds, and you can see the parasites are actually working inside of them. Just look into their eyes. They look insane. Well, what do they say? The eyes are what? The windows to the soul, right? What do you see in their window? What do you see through their window? Can't make this up. Now, I cannot find this this picture. What was that woman talking about? I forgot what I was talking about last night. I'm gonna find it, and we're gonna have to talk about that again. Where this nutter was completely out of her mind. She was training pit bulls to be service dogs for veterans. Let me see. Right? She claims to train shelter pit bulls. Shelter pit bulls. She claims to train them to be serviced dogs. See? Marlboro woman trained this pit bull to help New Jersey veteran. Look at this. Shelly Raskin of Marlboro trains rescue dogs to become service dogs for veterans. People, they don't use pit bulls as service dogs. It's like always a lab or golden retriever or something like that, right? Not pit bulls. So you know this is nothing but insanity. Y'all want to see the woman who works magic, her dog magic? And these are not pit bulls that she raised. She found them in the dumpster somewhere. Oh, now it's a service dog. Here you go. Looked like they took her photo off. Y'all notice that, right? It looked like they removed her photo. No, y'all not gonna hide from me. You're not gonna hide from me. I'm about to Google her name. I showed that photo last night, and I did the same thing I just did then. I said, look into her eyes. You could tell she's out of her mind. What's her name? Shelly Raskin of Marlboro. Oh yeah, you're not gonna hide. You're not gonna hide. Wait a minute, where are we at? Okay, I can't copy that, so I'm gonna type it in. I gotta show y'all this lady. Oh boy. All right, brace yourselves. Told you can see the insanity in their eyes. You can see it in their eyes. Look through the window to her soul. There she is. Look into her eyes, man. What do you see in her spirit? I'm telling you, the soul has gone. The soul has gone. Look at she trains pit bulls that she found somewhere to be service dogs. Do you want one of her personally trained service dogs? Huh? Yes, all of our dogs are wonderful. They're well trained. Yeah, we found them last week. Yeah, it's now a service dog. Look at her. I'm sorry, man. I would not trust anybody with eyes like that. No, you're not a professional. You're not an expert. And really, this is what you see in the eyes of all of these so-called dog trainers, dog behaviorists. All got that whacked out look inside their eyes because they're all insane. They're all insane. And it's so sad that it's been reported in many media outlets that mental illness runs rampant in the United States. Not only runs rampant, but it's untreated. It's not being dealt with or seen as mental illness. Complete neglect of the general public. What type of leaders do that? And you got people out here actually pointing out the mental illnesses, and our psychologists and head doctors just ignore it. What is the problem here? The nuttery is off the map. I've been on here way too long, longer than I planned. I need to get ready to go to work. Big shout out to all of you, and I hope to see you again on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.